Hi, I'm Lemon. I think as of now, that might be changed because it's a pretty silly name, but are you wondering what passives you should be using on your cookie smash, oven smash characters? Cookies? Well, I have the guide just for you, and I definitely know what I'm talking about. No, I don't. Alright, so if you're wondering what passives are things that you unlock once you get your cookie to, I think, level 8. Let me see before I just start, spreading lies. Let's see.
It's your favorite idol.
Yeah, you unlock passives at level 8 and level 10. You unlock 2 passives, the ability for 2 passives. And these passives come in many sort of passives or buffs to your cookies. Now, we will be getting gear possibly in the future as something I've been seeing online here and there. I wasn't around for the beta, but we currently do not have the full game of CookieRun Oven Smash. I don't think it's even available in every part of the world, but it could be. I've seen some things, it's confusing, but passives, and you need to know when to use it, how to use it, and what are the best passives that should almost never be replaced. Now, a lot of people use the HP boost, which on paper and at a first glance is a fairly good passive. It gives you 10% more HP. The thing is, HP is going to dwindle. At the end of the day, that's the main goal of every single cookie you are going against. Their goal is to take down your HP and to terminate you. Yes, that's the goal. And everyone, or at least beginners, are going to have HP boost to the point where it doesn't matter. You know where you can have an advantage? And I mean, yes, I do have my cherry bomb with HP boost. In my opinion, I think this is good for her. Now, you can change it and switch it out with special skill cooldown, but hers is level 11 seconds, and so you can really, decide whether you want to or not. You're probably better off giving her special cooldown. But the best passive in the game, even said by the devs, which I was a little bit skeptical, and I realized that I was actually dumber than I thought, is the increased recovery passive. It's actually really good. You also should be using this in other games similar to this game. You know this game is based off of that one game that everybody plays. Okay. This one's actually really cool. It increases your natural recovery while out of combat by 50%. And if you don't know how healing works, and a lot of people who don't understand how healing works in these video games, in these sort of games, you actually heal when you stop attacking. And some people start spamming their attacking button and they're not healing. The way to heal is if you get out of combat and you stop spamming attack, and then your character will automatically start healing. Now, I don't know the exact time it takes for the character to heal, but it's a lot slower than a 50% increase in that wait time, which means it can get you right back into battle. So you should be using this almost on every single character. There should be at least a very small multitude of niche situations where you will not be using this passive. This is the best passive in the game, okay, by far. The second best passive is the special skill cooldown. It reduces, well, this one reduces the skill cooldown by 10%, which means your cooldowns is reduced by 10%. So, use your special, which was probably 11 seconds, as you can tell for a cherry bomb, and it probably drops it down to 9 or 8 seconds. I don't know. I should really test that out. They cost a lot, actually. They cost about 200K. I don't think I know my numbers. That's not 200K. It's 20K. Alright, well, that's the second best special passive. And the third best passive is actually not garbage. You can use this. I mean, it depends. You would be probably better off using different passive, but you are good for giving yourself an advantage. And not many cookies need this. And I think eventually at some point, less players will use this passive, which will give them a slight disadvantage. Although they're of course probably going to be pairing whatever they replace it with the increased recovery. And you should use this passive on squishy cookies. A lot of cherries are very squishy, etc. There you go. Or you can use on a tank, although using this on a tank does seem fairly useless since tanks have a lot of HP anyway, or regardless of, okay, now you gave them 500 HP. You could have just given them more skill cooldown because they don't really have a lot of damage, and this helps you increase their damage. Not by a lot, but it's some sort of advantage aside from HP, because of course they have HP and everyone's going to be jumping them regardless of how much HP you give them, because they're basically just meant to tank the damage. That's their job. Now the fourth best is securing vision, and this is very, very niche, and not a lot of players might end up using it, but I've seen it in the game a couple of times. This helps reveal the location for allies and you, letting you know where the enemy is once you attack them. Now, obviously, when you attack the enemy, it gives up their location, but this increases the time by, I think, by 3 seconds, 3.0 seconds, which means they're revealed for much longer, which gives your teammates enough time to react. Now, what cookies should be using the securing vision passive? Well, cookies that are bombers, like throwers, they should be using this gear, because at the end of the day, they're always going to be having an advantage compared to cookies who cannot go over obstacles. This passive can help give their teammates warnings, like, hey, I saw somebody over there, I just hit over there, and now the teammates know that, hey, I also see that person. That vision gear let me see this individual a lot longer. I think that the vision gear, I'm calling it a gear, passive, also helps for certain abilities. It helps these abilities work when otherwise they wouldn't, because sometimes some abilities cannot work unless there's an enemy cookie or enemy or whatever attackable whatever is visible, and this helps this enemy become visible more often, which means they can be attacked more. So a good example would probably also be, where is she? Which if I invested in her, I would have used this on her because it seems really good. Or not, it depends, would be string cheese cookie. She would benefit from this a lot. Well, slightly. If you are using her ultimate, what is it called? Let me see. No, that's not the good one. That's kind of garbage. I'm sorry. You should not invest in that ultimate. This one, the Arsing Made Turret. This turret goes over walls, it goes over obstacles, and it has a fairly decent range. And what this does is once it attacks an enemy, it will show the location of the enemy for an extra 3 seconds when you have the vision gear, which also means that this deployable will be able to attack enemies because they can now see them instead of losing the sight of the enemy unless someone else attacks them, right? They don't, the turret cannot attack others unless it sees them. Now, I don't know if this game is different from other games, as of if like the turrets or summons will be able to see enemies regardless if they're in a bush or not, but this is still good because it's going over walls and enemies can see it. Now, you do not have to do that. If enemies are still visible by turrets with or without the vision gear, you probably shouldn't use it. So like it doesn't matter, but I do think that it gives some sort of advantage to seeing enemies. You can use this on very bushy maps. All right, so that's really a good gear. I don't know what other cookies, but usually cookies who can go over walls would benefit from this gear. I personally would not use this on Latte Cookie, but you can. She benefits from the special skill cooldown because she's reliant on her special cooldown. And her special, she uses her special a lot. It's kind of broken. It's overpowered. And, you could use the HP boost, but don't you want to benefit from something that's really good more often? Yes, you do. Now, another passive that's actually really good is the, let me see, the fifth best passive, I'm going to probably say the increased movement speed. Now, it might seem small, it's actually quite good and quite scary. Now, imagine the speed passive on a very quick cookie already. And imagine having that passive on, I don't know, a map with a lot, and I mean a lot of bushes. Okay, usually the maps where you feel like you need to bring what's her name, cherry bomb, right, or cheese beret cookie. Now he has a 20% speed boost naturally, 25 to be exact. Depends on which one you pick. Most people are picking the 10% speed increase because they get the shield. If you do not care, you can get the 25% movement speed. All right. Also his ultimate chains attacks. So I haven't really been testing it, but I think his ultimate increases the recovery time by 25%. So he's gonna get his ultimate more often than most cookies, which, wait, I made a mistake. I thought it was the speed because it was ultimate, but it's not a speed because it's ultimate. It's actually a speed when you use his special. So that also means you kind of might want to be using the reduced skill cooldown by 10% and the natural recovery by 50%. Now you could also, to be more scary, you can use the 10% speed increase when moving through shrubs and the natural recovery of combat increase by 50%. Almost anybody should be using that. If you don't want to, you do not have to. It's not the end of the world. I think a lot of people are so used to ignoring the increased recovery, they've gotten used to not using it and just end up using whatever else. But it is really good, and you can pair it up with this. Now imagine basically giving him a 35% speed increase or a 20% speed increase because he has the shrub passive. All right. Now the 6th passive, which really isn't that good. Well, kind of, it depends, and I think it will have its place later on, but I don't think in this sort of game it gives people the opportunity to, get off on a lot of kills. Maybe on some maps or events or something like that you would end up using the battle blessing, which ends up giving you 15% of max HP. I don't really like it. I haven't really used it. I've seen people use it, and the benefit of it has not really been something remarkable to me. Now, I mean, I think it would probably be really good on an assassin because assassins are very squishy, and so you could pair this passive up with the increased recovery instead of the HP, because they have no HP. Everybody knows that assassins don't have HP, so there's no point really fixing it. Maybe in some niche situations you can, and you can also just get it over with and use the increased recovery and the HP boost just to have some sort of advantage and so you don't die. Or you can heal and use the battle blessing. And the thing is, assassins, they get a lot of kills off. Like, they're almost guaranteed to kill a cookie. Probably not tanks, but they can kill just about almost any cookie in the game. I'm not sure if they can kill the new cookie that just came out, not DJ Maya, but this one, because she does end up being a lot more tanky than average, and she also has a damage reduction by 50%. Jeez, girl, you need to cool it. So I don't know if what's her name, Chili Pepper Cookie will be okay when she's fighting against Something Cookie, but she does have 3 ultimates, and those 3 ultimates end up doing about 3,000 damage, or even 4,000 or 2,000, 4,000 damage, depending on the one you pick. Oh, and it has a lifesteal, so she might end up benefiting from it, but the thing is, she already has a lifesteal, so it's kind of like, why are you using this lifesteal and pairing it with another type of lifesteal, right? But it might be something. It might be something, and it might be a lot more heal than average, but it's just like, to me, in my opinion, if a cookie is already skilled at something, there's no point in trying to increase something they're already good at. Now, in some situations, yes, because you want them to be better than other cookies, because those other cookies already also have that advantage. Like, let's say a attack advantage. They have like 1,000 more HP than, not HP, more attack than other cookies. But then giving them like 300 more attack when you could have given them like 300 or 30% more or 10% more cooldown reduction instead of more attack, which they already have, they will attack more often instead of just do more damage when everybody knows they do more damage. In some situations, it is smart, but she already has a lifesteal, which I completely forgot about. I think she's quite nice, not gonna lie, but something is better than nothing. You might as well add it if you want to. It might have its use in the future. I've seen people use it, but it doesn't seem as good. So now you understand all of these passives. I'm not sure if this will help you. I will just give a brief description on, brief explanation or what cookies should use what passives based off of their role. Boosters, they get attacked a lot. Even though they're not tanks, they do tank a lot of damage, but they're not tanks. They're meant to do damage, so they're in the battle a lot, and you kind of want them to be in battle constantly, so you would give a booster increased heal recovery. Now, I don't really recommend more HP, but you can. It is your choice. But I want to attack more often. I want to be able to get out of combat because my HP is probably going to be at maxed by the time I walk away and come back, and then immediately use my special. And so I think sometimes using the special is really good. If you want to add some more HP, you can add some more HP. It really depends on you, all right? You do not have to. Now, I ended up picking the HP increase, so I might even just go and pick the increased recovery. That was because I was in the early game, but hey, it might still be good. Actually, I didn't know that one was right there. I didn't know I could switch it out. I was using this the whole time. That's horrible. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's horrible. All right, so you're using a support. Supports are very squishy. They're meant to die. You can't really fix what's meant to be, unfixed. They're not meant to have HP, but if you want to make sure and ensure their safety, use the HP boost. Sure, use it. Or you can use the increased recovery. Or, depending on their skill, and hers is really good, it gives the allies some shield, and you want to use it more often. Obviously, you're supposed to have the special cooldown if you want to be more supportive for your teammates. So that is when you should use the special cooldown, okay? And because she's meant to support, and that will help her support more often. You want to use a tank. Tanks, fairly simple. You really can just use whatever you want. It depends on the tank, it depends on their ability. They are going to be attacked a lot, and you kind of don't want them to die, even though they're meant to be, beat up. You want them to have their HP back immediately, so instead of just dying, you can just go out of battle, use increased recovery, and you can use the special cooldown reduction. Personally, because they already have a lot of HP, I mean, look at his HP. It's going to be by probably like 10k once I get him to max, or 9k, but it's going to be really high. You can use that. You can use the HP, or you can use the special cooldown, because tanks don't do a lot of damage, and his special, does damage, and that will help him do more damage consistently. He's doing more damage consistently because he has the cooldown reduction. So there you go. Now for marksman, what do you use for marksman? Again, I think you should use the special cooldown depending on the marksman's ability. I'm not gonna talk about him yet, but you should use the special cooldown depending on their ability. If you feel like the ability doesn't need it, or the special cooldown reduction won't do anything because the special cooldown is too freaking long, then don't use it. You almost, like I said, again, always use the natural recovery. There you go. Now, again, depending on the character, which marksman in this game usually doesn't need the securing vision, Maya might seem like a special case. I mean, she has this little deploy. You can use the securing vision, and it will attack surrounding enemies, which shows the location of them 3 seconds longer, which makes it easier for your teammates to notice them and attack them and, well, kill them. There you go. Or you can pair it up with the Shrub Master, and she has about a 50% speed increase. Now imagine that, pairing that up with the Speed Master, the Scrub Master. Shrub Master, Shrub Master, and now you have a 60% speed boost. Jeez. Oh wait, it's only allies? Oh no, it's hers. It's hers. Now, it depends on which one you pick. Sometimes you can pick one for the ally. I don't know if this also helps for you. And then this one is ally movement speed. So maybe it is just the ally, but I don't know. You guys could test that out. I gotta read this before I say anything, so I'm not reading that. You know, I've been using Licorice Cookie, and the special cooldown has been really good for him. You usually will be using controllers. Controllers and their special do usually have a stun, so again, the special cooldown reduction is actually really good for a lot of them. His is 12 seconds, so his is actually really long because it's kind of broken. It gives the enemy a 50% slow. Now it depends on what you use, but a 50% slow is like broken, and then pairing that with a 30% slow, that's kind of crazy. So yeah, to annoy the enemy, I just use the passive of special cooldown reduction. He is also pretty tanky, not gonna lie, and so I didn't give him more HP even though he doesn't have the ability to dodge. I gave him the increased recovery so he can get back into combat quicker. Mages,
it's time for something
explanatory,
practical.
really depends on the mage. You kind of want to use, again, the special cooldown just to teleport quicker, because a lot of them do end up having a form of movement in their ability, and it's pretty broken. So they can use that ability more often. Almost, like I said, everybody should use this almost. So,
Latte magic might seem soft and
if you have any questions about what cookies you think, or you have a question for using what passives for, please tell me. I think I talked about Brewster already, but you know, you want to use this on her, you want to use this on her, that's really good. Forget about the HP, she already has a damage reduction, so she doesn't need more HP. You can just use the increased recovery and special skill cooldown. You might even use the battle blessing, because this girl does crazy damage, so you probably might also benefit from using this for bruisers, though their job is not meant to just, you know, kill as opposed to assassins. Assassins are meant to kill, they're meant to assassinate, okay? But bruisers are basically attackers, and they do a lot of damage. Marksman! I think I talked about marksman. I talked about this marksman, and this marksman may actually be using the vision gear more often. It's pretty good in some scenarios. She does not have range that can go over obstacles, so it does seem a lot more useless. So the typical 3, the best 3. Is there any other roles I had not talked about? I talked about supports, I talked about controllers, I think I talked about tanks, I talked about assassin. You know, this assassin could attack a lot. I think she actually might have a lot more HP than the average assassin. She's level 8 and she's level 9. She has like 1,000 more HP than the average assassin, but she also doesn't do enough attack, in my opinion, than most assassins should. So, I mean, I guess you can use the HP boost, especially with such a dangerous ultimate that she has. Assassins are not meant to be attacked like that. You can also use the special cooldown, or the Shrub Master, because to get her a speed increase when she's using her ultimate. Or it really does depend on where you're using them. So it really does depend. You really pick what you feel is really good and really necessary. Well, that would be all for this video, and thank you for wasting your time, and I hope you learned something and it wasn't useless at all. So do choose wisely. Again, almost always use the increased recovery, and then almost always use a special skill cooldown, and then again, if you don't want to use those two, then result in using the HP boost. And then you have your 3 others to get creative with. But these 3 are pretty much your best. Thank you for watching.